I know a lot of you guys are wondering what are the best artifacts in Dragonheir Silent Gods. In today's video, I'm gonna give you guys my best top 10 rare and epic artifacts, and think about it in the following way. You only have the materials to purchase 2 artifacts, and you wanna know which ones are the best. So hopefully, that's what I'm gonna clarify for you guys in today's video. If you head over to the exchange shop, you're gonna have the artifact shop right here, and you do have quite a few different rare ones. You have quite a few epic ones, and then you have tons of legendary ones, okay? And including exclusive ones. For legendary ones, guys, we're gonna do a different dedicated video in the next couple of days. Keep an eye on it. At the moment, we're gonna do rare and epics. Now, I do want to mention one thing before. A lot of these artifacts become very powerful because they are very niche when you are using them on the right champion, in the right team. So keep that in mind. You might need something specific, like maybe you need enlightenment on either a support champion that brings a crazy heal or a shield, or maybe a poisoner or a different hero that deals derivative damage, and you want to use it on the vortex. Meditator's Pipe is a very good option too, but I wouldn't put this as a main priority. I wouldn't put it in my top 10. I'm just kind of like trying to give you an example on how you should think of niche artifacts as well, you know? If we are talking about rares, guys, there are a couple of them that I would personally purchase and use ASAP. Now, of course, there are a few others that are pretty good. Like you have the Ancestor's Bone. This is something that you're getting for free and you're getting extra crit damage, but it's not my top 10. When we are talking about rares, guys, Luminary Order Gospel is one of them that I would strongly suggest you to purchase. Healing from the wearer increases by 10% all the way up to 15. You're getting HP percentage, flat defense, and this will actually be super powerful on any healer. It's not something niche, it's something very universal that can be used on pretty much every healer, and it does give you quite a bit of value. The next one, when we are talking about rare artifacts, guys, is gonna be the Volcanic Disc. This is something that I'm using as well currently together with the other one, and this one, the wearer's ultimate skill gains extra damage. So basically 10% all the way up to 15, you're getting flat HP and you're getting attack percentage. Not only that the attack percentage will help you when you level this up, but the extra damage from ultimate skills is going to be massive. Of course, they are better versions when we are talking about epics, even legendaries. So this is something to keep in mind, because you might want to prioritize different epic ones. Maybe you can only purchase 2 or 3 epic ones at the moment. You haven't summoned enough dupe epics in order to purchase a lot of epic artifacts, because that's the currency. When you're getting dupe heroes, you're gonna get these currencies, Imprint Stone, or you're gonna get the Imprint Stone 1 or the Soul Imprint, which is the legendary version, and they convert into this, you know. Moving over to epic ones, guys, it's gonna cost you 5 imprints per artifact, and that's basically 1 dupe epic. Now here there are quite a few solid ones. The ones that I would kind of like stay away from are the ones that are kind of like exclusive to the element. You see, you have the fire element, and this is basically increasing the chance of inflicting a buff or debuff using the ultimate skill, and it's gonna be the same for all of them, you know, just for each one of the elements. I wouldn't purchase this right now, you know. Maybe in the future, who knows, maybe they're gonna change them. The ultimate best epic artifact, guys, is gonna be the Crown of the Unclean. The reason why is because there are only 2 ways on how you can inflict decreased defense in a Dragonheir Silent Gods. One is by using the Crown of the Unclean, which is the epic version. This will only go on a single target and will be a defense penalty 1. And you have a legendary artifact, Witch's Remains, and that can put AoE defense down with a slightly lower chance to proc, but it's defense penalty 2. So there are only 2 things that will allow you to land defense down in Dragonheir Silent Gods, which will boost your damage a lot on bosses. That's why Crown of the Unclean is so important, because there is no equal for it. Then, of course, if we're gonna move over to talk about the second best epic artifact, in my opinion, the one that I would personally pick, and that would be for damage dealers, is gonna be the Eyeball of the Giant. You're gonna get attack percentage, flat attack. You see, as soon as you move rarities, the stats, they try to match more the type of hero that you would actually have when you're using this. The wearer's ultimate skill gains bonus damage, 10% all the way to 20%. This is a big number when you're gonna max this up. Plus, you're gonna get tons of extra attack on it, you know, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Then, not going in a specific order on how you should prioritize them, think about what other things you might need on your heroes, you know. Some of them are pretty strong for arena, like we have the Scarab Amulet, which is an amazing artifact, and it can be used as well on PvE as well. It's not just arena. The wearer gains a shield equal to a specific amount of his defense for 10 seconds when their HP is below 30%. The effect can only be triggered once every 45 seconds. You're getting defense percentage, which will be very helpful, and you're getting HP. Now, you would want to use this on some sort of a tank, because this will basically save your tank to keep him alive, but you need to have a lot of defense on him to kind of like make sense to use this on that hero, you know. Moving over to the next artifact, guys, is going to be the Manticore Statue. This is pretty nice too, and again, it gives you attack, flat attack. The wearer's battle skill gains bonus damage. Now, there are some heroes that are dealing pretty good damage with the battle skill, you know, and when you are using the other artifacts, because you can only own one copy of each, you're going to look for the next best thing, you know, and this is actually a pretty interesting one because you are getting extra damage. So you might want to use it on a good DPS champion that has a nice battle skill, you know. So I like the Manticore Statue quite a bit. And all this that I'm just naming right now, guys, I'm actually using as well. Of course, I haven't invested the Essence of Creation to level up every single one of them because it's very costly. And I'm prioritizing to do the only one legendary artifact that I have, which is the Witch's Remains, the one that does defense down AoE. The next one that we have on the list, guys, is going to be the Spiritual Incense Burner. I actually like this quite a bit. I do prefer to use this mainly on support heroes, debuffers, because increases the wearer's ultimate energy by a specific amount after unleashing the ultimate skill. You want to have that advantage, man. You want to use the ultimate skill as often as possible, and this one right here is top notch for it. You're getting flat HP and accuracy. The reason why it's great on debuffers is because of that specific accuracy that you're getting from here, so keep that in mind as well. The next one on the list is going to be the Ancestor's Candle. This one actually increases the recharge time of the battle skill. Pretty similar with the Manticore and the Eyeball. You can have like one for each. This one gives you resistance and HP. I like to use this one on some heroes that might need resistance. Like, I'm not necessarily focusing only on the battle skill, even though that's pretty important. You might have some crowd control on a battle skill. You might have decreased attack on it, and that will help you. Or something very important, this can be used on that hero that brings you that extra thing with the battle skill. But we're not talking about damage dealers here, because the stats that you're getting from it is kind of like making you lose the potentially extra damage that you could get by giving a better artifact to your damage dealer, you know. Moving over to the next one, guys, is gonna be the Arcane Music Box. I like to use this one a lot when I'm using the Traveler, especially on the Frost element, or if I'm bringing a different champion that will shield all my team, because this one gives you flat attack and crit rate, which is awesome. And then the wearer gains extra damage when under shield. 10% all the way up to 20%. So a lot of times with my Adventurer, I'm using the Frost element, and I'm using this on one of my DPS champions because I'm gonna gain all this extra damage when I'm under the shield. And I'm getting the crit rate, man. The crit rate is so important, especially early on before we get to Legendary Gear, before we're gonna be able to build heroes with a 100% crit rate and get all the perfect rolls, you know? So this is actually a very top-notch artifact. The next one that I have on the list, guys, is gonna be the Platinum Knight Shield, and this one will reduce the wearer's AoE damage taken by 10% all the way to 20%. Gives you defense, flat defense and HP percentage, so it will help you to tank quite a bit. And once you level it up, a 20% damage reduction from AoE attacks is massive on support champions. Even on other champions that might be squishy, you're trying to beat some boss that is extremely powerful, you're trying to use some crazy champions in arena, that can be actually very, very helpful as well. Against the Temporal Vortex, it brings a lot of AoE attacks, you know. So this is actually going to be a pretty solid one. This would make my top 10 best rare and epic artifacts in Dragonheir Silent Gods. Now, of course, there are a few more that are decent, guys. They're not bad, you know, so you could potentially use them, especially if you're building multiple teams. You don't want to move artifacts all day long. Then you can definitely try to get a few extra ones, you know. Mirror of the Living is nice, but is a bit conditional, you know, so you need their HP to be low. You have the Effigy of Divine Ears. This is nice too. The wearer gains 10% ultimate energy after killing an enemy. You're getting flat defense and attack percentage. I like this quite a bit too. The only thing is that you might not kill all the time. Maybe you're dealing a lot of DPS and somebody else takes the kill, and then this doesn't really come in play as much. It does sound very good on paper, but trust me, it's not as easy to make it work as it might sound, you know. The Goblet of Dragon Blood is nice. The only problem with this is that you need to have it leveled up at max level to be 100%. When the wearer launches an ultimate skill, has a 50% chance of obtaining 20% extra crit rate for 10 seconds. The problem with this is that if it's not leveled up, it's not guaranteed to gain that extra crit rate, so you cannot count on it, and it gives you flat attack and attack speed. But this is a pretty good option too. Once you purchase the top 10, you're looking to purchase more. These right here are actually doing a pretty good job, you know. Blood Princess Bracelet is nice. The only problem that I have with this, heals the wearer by this much attack after killing an enemy. And then you're getting HP percentage here instead of getting attack or crit damage or crit rate, something to help you to kill somebody. But that's a fairly decent option. Harpy's Nail is very niche because it's based on the passive skill when we're talking about damage. They are heroes that do a lot of damage from passives, you know, so this can be a pretty interesting option. But let me know in the comments down below which one of them is your most favorite epic or rare artifact, guys, and which one of them is the most used one. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.